Well, hi there racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we will discuss a lot today. A lot. I don't know how much, but a lot. Okay, let's go with it.
We will. We've got Mark McCobb coming in to talk to us. He spoke to us last year about the big day coming up on Saturday, you know, with the Elan Gold Cup.
He's a soccer boy.
He's a Pro Sport International. Michael gets deals with all the sportsmen. He does contracts and all that. He's very good. He was a top coach. He took Pirates to win the league. He was a very good footballer. So he's steeped in football and a wonderful human being.
Now, ask him about Giroud.
I will do. I'll ask him about Giroud.
Yeah, okay.
The Chelsea boy.
Jim,
I know you love your golf. You must have been in front of the TV. I thought it was fantastic. I watched a lot of the golf.
Yeah. The first real disappointment is Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
He's got a caddy, okay, who's not a caddy. He's not a professional caddy. He's just his mate. Now, when you need...
Caddies don't play the shots.
No, but when you need someone to talk to you, and the coverage was fantastic because they put the videos up there. You could hear what the caddies were telling their players, how they were telling them to hit. Rory needed that.
What was his caddy talking about?
His
Jaws
caddy
in the pub?
No, nothing, absolutely nothing. You know, munching on an energy bar and talking to him about where they're going that evening for what. That's all he could talk to him about. He couldn't talk to him about lines, couldn't talk to him about anything, and he got beaten by 2 shots.
James, I'm just going to ask you a question, and then you're going to answer because you know golf way better than I do. From my perspective, there were 7 players who could have won it, and obviously the Spieth. He parred the first 5, then went backwards. Tiger was at the front after 9. Is his name Kevin Isner or something?
Yeah, Kisner.
Kisner, very good player. Mallory won it. What's the
Chappell hit it in the bush on 17.
What's the guy Xander? What a good player.
Yeah.
It was a great day's golf.
It was a fantastic day's golf, and the guy who won it, Molinari, he deserved to win it.
The first
he played flawless golf over 2 days. He didn't make a drop shot.
Yeah.
And he just worked his way around the golf course. I was so pleased for him because he comes from a great golfing family.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's just really come well in the last year or two. He's 35 years old, but he strikes the ball beautifully.
And your take on Tiger? I thought he was fantastic.
Absolutely. Fabulous. But,
fabulous.
You know,
great to see that.
Yeah. But to have to play with Tiger,
that's hard
just
enough.
shows you
the gallery 30 deep.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just
well, the gallery followed Tiger. Managed to watch the Open winner because they were partners.
Yeah. But Molinari kept his cool, did everything right, played flawless golf, deserved to win. There were a whole lot of guys who had a chance, and they all tripped and stumbled.
Yeah.
Spieth
Great
was
golf.
pathetic.
Great.
Okay. And he's a bit like that Spieth. He sort of, I think he overanalyzes.
He's 24.
And but he just, he looks like he's got them stone cold, and then
he's such a good player.
To end up dropping 3 or 4 shots.
Yeah, well, I knew you would have loved that. Now, I had my TVs on in the lounge, and I put on the Grand Prix, and I thought, I can't believe the guy came from 14th to win Hamilton.
Well, because his main opposition ran straight into the barrier.
Yeah, well, that's allowed. That's allowed.
Well, that was because
they're changing tyres and rain. I don't know much about that game.
I don't know anything about it either.
Sharks
got what they deserved.
Not good enough.
No, when you watch the 2 teams play, you watch how disciplined the Crusaders are with a third of the possession. They had 1/3 of the possession. Right. The possession that the Sharks had, if they had some discipline and they actually played with a little flair, okay, they would have thumped them. I mean, when you've got 60% of possession, you beat the other team. The Lions, superb. The Lions will beat the Waratahs. I told you the Lions will get to the final of this tournament. They will beat the Waratahs on Saturday, convincingly. And if there can just be a hiccup that the Hurricanes can beat the Crusaders, then they get a home final, the Lions, against the Hurricanes. That would will be something to savor. But the Lions will still go to the Crusaders, and they'll cover themselves in glory. They might beat them.
Yeah.
Because they're a very good team.
How about the Blitzbokker? They got beat by England in the semis.
They got clapped, didn't they?
Gee, they're a good team, though.
Shows you just a couple of your big players not there. Yeah. It's not the same thing. And what about the darts?
Darts. Oh yeah, it was a very good game. Toti beat Tweenie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's right. That was the one, the big game of the weekend. Toti and Tweenie. Let's move on. It's getting a bit out of hand. Right, let's go and have a look at our 3 to follow. And we go to Scottsville, and as usual, we got to find one of Larity's horses. Not a bad pick this is either, because it ran from a bad draw, and it ran a cracking good race. Looks like it might be the best Noble Tune around. This certainly bred by Frick Dupree.
Frick Dupree. Yeah. You know what's interesting is that the Noble Tune won, I think, a Group 2 over 9 furlong. It's a 2-year-old, James.
Yeah.
As soon as people put the Noble Tunes over ground, you will see. Very well bred horse, very good stallion. And this horse is, the mother won 8. Yeah. So there's every chance it could be a fair horse in time.
Well, let's go and pick it up at the start. It's drawn 13 in the sort of very famous yellowish colours, yellow and green.
Marius.
And Jill. There you are. Barnside.
James, just, I remember, it still hasn't moved over. It's 2 off the right and behind them, and then young Lyle moves it over. It's the grey horse, and it moves it over, and he tries to get him behind the green horse, and he has to drop out to one behind him. But the winner is a horse called Bravo. Bravo is moving up into 2nd, and that's Caname's horse. The horse I thought would be a big runner was number 1, Internet Kid. That's in the box seat on the fence. And James, our horse, if you'll have a look now, is last in that photo.
Yeah.
It's a long way off. The commentator was saying 12, 15 lengths off when they turn for home. But it's a good gallop.
I would think Internet King next time over at 1200 will win. I think it's too far for him. He hit the front like a winner. And Bravo outran him. But your horse ran an unbelievable race. Now, he ran a very good barrier trial. I picked him up in the barrier trial. He didn't run badly at all.
James, here, as they run towards the 400, he's way back. You can see he gets a smack. And James, they run towards the 300, and he's just about joint last. And I thought, whoa, I thought he was a better horse than this. And now Bravo is tackling Internet Kid, and these two are going to put in a scrap. And suddenly you see this grey horse come on the outside front. I haven't seen a horse finish like this in years, James.
He ran on extremely well. And really, certainly looks like, as you say, a horse that's going to... If he'd won, would you have been happy?
Oh, I was happy he ran well. I was very... Look at him, he's clear in the photo. You know, James, what's interesting? Those are Maurice Mostard's colours, Gilly's husband. He bought 3 2-year-olds with me.
Yeah.
They all ran first time.
Yeah.
They all ran where?
2nd.
They all got beat?
Yeah.
Short head. That's a unique record.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
He's a pure stiffy.
I think he's a jinx. I think he's a jinx. What do you think?
He's a stiffy. He's a real stiffy. They could have all won by a short head, then he would have been a genius. Okay, so we'll change the colours. Next week, that horse will run in different colours because Marius is a complete stiffy. Let's go and look at the barrier trial at Greyville on Friday night, and we pick up one of Caname's bombs.
Yeah, this is a horse called Silver's Fling. He's trained the family. Look how it gets left, James. It loses that length and a half, so it wants to run out. It hasn't any clue of what it's doing, but the rider, Keegan DeMello, gets it into the race. He decides, we've got to get you into the race. And this horse is going to improve a long way, especially when it goes over a bit further. It was a cheap horse, James.
Yeah, 4 million.
4 million.
Lummus Crowell bred.
Yeah, Lummus Crowell bred this
by
horse.
Silvana out of Western Wintermere. The interesting thing is that the horse had won the barrier trial, it was off, gone, and it had already had one barrier trial behind Roman Dancer. So it had the experience, and that experience told. And you'll see that it's cantering along there. And here this horse got a beautiful action, this horse. Silver's Fling, Silver's Bullet, Silver's Destiny, Silver's all Silvers.
Silvanos,
yeah. And
it's a sparkling debut after getting left, and this just needed this to learn, and follow that. Silver's Fling.
Okay, we're going to move on from there, and we go to Cape Town. Nothing going on in Joburg at the moment. The only person that says Mike de Kock, I don't know. He's must have a lot of aggravation. He's still in Joburg.
He's still up there.
Yeah, so
he'll be down.
He's the only person.
He'll be down for the big ones and so.
Anyway, we got Bunker Hunt. Beautifully named by a dynasty out of the Secret Obsession, who's by Captain Al. Fastfontein bred this one, and you can see why they named it Secret Obsession. He had an obsession with silver.
Silver. He tried to, him and his brother tried to corner the market.
Yeah.
James, him and his brother got involved in racehorses.
Yes.
And they brought in Bruce McNall, who was a numismatist, a coin collector.
Yeah.
And they ended up having 2 Ark winners.
Dahlia.
No. The names will come to me. They had 2 Ark winners.
Trampolina.
Well, that was one of them. Well done. You're warming up, Jim. You're warming up. They had two Ark winners, Bruce McNall and the Bunkers, and they went belly up.
Yeah.
Bruce McNall went to jail.
Yeah.
He wrote his book. Funny enough, the book, he wrote this fantastic book. It was fun while it lasted. It shows all the coins falling.
Yeah.
Bruce McNall, he sent a copy out to Roy Wall.
Yeah.
Because Roy trained for him.
Yeah.
And he said, to the best trainer I ever had, Roy Wall, I hope you enjoy this. So that's how I got to know about Bruce McNall.
Well, the only other trainer he had was Christophe Clement.
Yeah.
And Roy was better than the French, Frederica Frenchman. Yeah.
Frederica, no, he had some trainers. But the bunker hunts were big players.
Yeah, they certainly were, and it's beautifully named. I really love the name of this horse, and I hope it turns out to be a top horse. Let's go and watch it in its first start.
Yeah, this is down the inside at Kenilworth. It's over 1,000 meters. And again, it's just a little slow if you compare the horse coming out in front. And it drops a couple of lengths off them because there's good speed from, I think it's Elusive Trader, who gets out there and makes it hot. And up there's Hey Boy, the VAR for the stewards. Yeah, and just a few lengths off them is this horse, James, and it doesn't look like there was much support for the horse either.
Yeah, no, he's just got his nose in the picture, in the platinum colours. He's second last at this stage, and over 1,000 metres, certainly when the track's running as quick as it is, this is a pretty good run, because he gets shaken up by Bernie, and he then starts to get taste the steel, as what's the name would say? What's the name? Sheldon. Yeah, taste the steel. He's tasting the steel, and here he is. Get a couple of good smacks, and he runs on really, really well.
This is a very smart horse.
By Dynasty, out of a Captain Almere, could be anything. That certainly could be anything.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's go and see what shouldn't happen. Well, we got the official on that. Justin Snaith's polo pony said packed in, had enough of being hit on the legs, hit on the mouth, hit everywhere, but he won the Natal Championships this weekend, Justin. So that's his horse,
He tells me he's having one more year and he's giving up.
Yeah.
The polo.
Yeah.
I thought when you're at the top, you don't give up unless you're Eric Cantona, but you don't give up.
He's got to give up.
Does he?
Yeah.
You know they roped into play the other day?
Yeah.
Robert Faderb, they were one
Robert's
short.
been practicing.
Oh, is he good? I didn't know Robert was good at that
Robert's
game.
been practicing, yeah.
Your game, that?
Yeah, but that's his pony. He just said, enough, yeah. Enough of this guy smacking me on the legs and the mouth. And the
mouth.
Yeah, in the mouth. Anyway, so you can watch a full unabridged version on the Gold Circle website, on the YouTube icon. Let's go and see what we got, the plum of the week. That's the beautiful thing.
Wave still on the bridle. Lady Jackson 3 lengths to hunt down. Keep it real. Watch Me Go coming to the 300. Making waves now. Looms large. 300 to go. Watch Me Go. Primary Lady Jackson. Making waves on the outside. Primary becomes the danger. Making waves 3 parts of a length towards the inside. Lady Jackson's running on. And towards the inside of that, Keep It Real. But Making Waves is striking fear into the heart of the opposition to win it. Second, Keep It Real. Then came Lady Jackson, Watch Me Go, and Primary found nothing under pressure.
Well, this filly was strongly fancied to win her maiden. She got beaten. She then came out here. She looked very wintry in the parade ring. I know I was chatting to a few people having a look at her, and she drifted like a barge in the betting. You could have ended up getting 2-1 at the death.
Whoa.
And she ran, you know, that form's working out behind Boeing City, working out very, very good form. Yeah. So she was certainly worth having a strike on at that price. As I say, we were put off a bit by the coat in the parade ring, but Dennis arrived.
How was his suit?
He had a chocolate suit. He looked like a chocolate Labrador.
He did. Chocolate suit.
Overfed chocolate Labrador.
Yes, and he matched it off.
How were the ones and twos?
No, didn't look.
I'll tell you what, I looked at the ones and twos and nearly got blinded. They were so shiny.
Yeah, no, Den looked the part. We knew the game. When Den comes dressed up like that, the game's on.
Yeah, exactly.
One of his is going to win.
Exactly. Well, that one, the other one that he fancied ran nowhere. So Den's stiff. Anyway, well done. If you wanted to back that, we're going to take a break.
Best race time odds, transparency of betting markets, friendly and super efficient staff, the ability to negotiate odds, a full service tote with no limits, which is very important for exotic players, loyalty program, speedy withdrawal of funds, full odds multiple betting, and excellent in-play markets. These are just some of the many reasons that come to mind as to why I believe, as a serious punter, there is no online operator in South Africa that can realistically come close to matching what Interbet has to offer. Put simply, there's no other site like it, and the ability to negotiate odds adds to my fun and enjoyment. Interbet, where the professionals bet.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Current Affairs. There was no stakes racing around the country, but Jim and I will bring you up to speed of everything that's happening. And let's start off with our good mate, William Haggis.
Yeah, he's on a real roll. And it just depends. Everything in this business is how much money you got to spend.
Yeah.
And William's got more and more and more money to spend. And now he's starting to produce Group 1 winners all over the place, and it's fantastic to see. There's not a nicer man in racing.
No, lovely guy.
Actually, there's one guy who's nicer than him.
Who's that?
Richard Hughes.
Is that right?
Hughesy, yeah. Hughesy sent me a text the other day saying,
Jim Boyle, man.
He's saying that he'd heard I'd given up training. So and was I enjoying myself? I said, once he rode a horse for me and won on it. I said I could never find anyone that was good enough to replace him. So without him, and when he gave up riding, I was always lived in hope that I sent him a long text, and he just is a very nice guy.
He won the Irish Oaks, Haggis. Sea of Class.
Yeah,
Another stakes winner for Sea the Stars.
Yeah, James Doyle rode it, which is good for him, and it just shows you they just keep on rolling.
All right, let's go about interesting now. A horse who's won its last 4 Group 1s is Monomoy Girl, who won at Saratoga, won the what you call the Coaching Club Oaks as well.
Yeah.
Now this is interesting, James, because Tappet had been such a very good stallion. This is by a son of Tappet. And they're saying this could be the best filly in America.
I think she is. Tapazar is the
sire.
sire of the dam of this filly, and she's beaten everything. She just looks like a very, very good filly. She's trained by a guy called Cox.
Vin Cox's brother.
Is he?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Next thing you'll be with Darley.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just talking about Saratoga, because Saratoga is always interesting. It started on Friday, okay, and the first day, the opening day, they did $20 million turnover. They were up 8%, okay, and it is just one of those places you're dying to go to. If you haven't got it on your bucket list, as I've
You've
said
got to have it in your
before,
bucket. You know, funny enough, James, there are 2 major race meets, as they call them. You've got Saratoga on the East Coast, and the West Coast, everyone's at Del Mar, where the surf meets the turf, you know, and that's fantastic racing too, you know. But Saratoga, 20 million the first day, that's a good step in the right direction.
well, they've got, over the next 40 days, they have 69 stake races, okay, so there's 1 stake race a day at least, and $18.85 million in stakes.
Phew.
So it is very big.
That is outstanding, James.
Yeah, it's a very, very big meeting, and the weather is magnificent, and I wish we got it on the television because it is just such good racing. You know, we get parks and all these sort of places. I don't know what the deal is with the tie-up as far as getting the racing.
You want
concerned.
Saratoga.
Saratoga would be wonderful racing, and certainly you'd be able to get people interested in betting on it because you've got all the best horses there. They've got people that they know like Ashmussen and those guys. Just talking about Ashmussen, that horse Bolt to Oro, trained by Mickey Ruiz, you know, it was the champion 2-year-old of its year and 3-year-old that hasn't been going too well. It's going to Ashmussen. Mickey Ruiz, who's a trainer, he's a private trainer, he trains for himself.
Yes.
Has decided
But he's sell?
No, he's decided he's sending it to Steve Ashmussen, to train. So that's always to watch because with Steve Ashmussen, it will run extremely well. Very nice horse. So that's Saratoga.
Yeah.
American, just talking about an American. Ron Padlucci from Luch Racing.
Oh, yes. This is a young guy.
Young guy started in 2011 with Standardbreds, okay, and he became the 2nd biggest leading owner in America last year.
Cool.
This
That's
last
massive.
year. He's turning it up. He said he's had enough. Yeah, he had 159 wins with 120 horses. And why is he turning it up? It's quite interesting because this seems to be a problem with getting young people involved in the racing industry. There are too many old, stayed, died in the wool rules that have been there forever that people will not budge to change. Now, what he wanted was he wanted to put a filly in the Breeders' Club fillies that had not raced, okay?
Yes.
And they wouldn't accept the entry. There was no rule that says that they couldn't have it. But he wanted in there as a rabbit for pacemaker for his other horse. They didn't have a full field, but they kicked the entry out.
They didn't have a full field?
No, they didn't have a full field.
But he's entitled to grow up then.
Yeah, he was furious, okay, but that wasn't the end of it. He then had a 1-to-5 shot running somewhere. He races mainly in Ohio. And he sent a stable companion in the race to make the pace for him. And the stable companion, the horse got disqualified. It won easily. And the stewards disqualified it on the basis...
The winner?
Yeah.
The 1-to-5 shot. It must have gone down well.
They disqualified it on the basis that the stable companion had interfered in the race, okay? interfered in the running of the race.
So why take the stablemate down?
Well, that's one of those. It just shows you the sort of type of.
Well, I can see why these dyed-in-the-wool guys are killing it then.
Well, this guy had his best horse was a horse called War Story, which won $2.6 million, and. We need people like that, people who are innovative, people who want to run racing a little differently to what it has been run in the past.
No, you've got to
when you look at, you remember the incident that Mike de Kock had in Dubai, where Pat Cosgrave got months for supposedly letting the horse through on the inside or whatever. You know, those type of things. I watched a Grand Prix. That guy was going to
attack Hamilton, and he got told back off.
Just
there's so much money going into car racing, all types of racing today, and because the team says no, let them win because we want to win the championship. I can see what they're thinking.
There's betting on it, so you know the thing is that they can't throw this old thing that they always throw at everyone. Oh, but there's wagering, so we've got to look after the public. Well, you're looking after the public when you're stopping. Your second
guy was pushing hard on Hamilton.
Your second choice driver from winning. So now, how does that affect the betting in the sport? No one gives a damn. If you bet, you know that it's a gamble. Okay, you don't know what's going to happen. I bet on golfers that got out the wrong side of bed in the morning, or went there with an amateur caddy.
Just to remember, I bet on TV last week before the Open.
What was it?
Okay, I'm just going to remind you. You, myself, and Graham were on the air. I'll just make sure.
Oh, you guys owe me lunch.
No. Here's how it goes. We said you had Garcia.
Yeah.
I had Fowler. Yeah. And he had Rose.
Who won? Rose.
Rose didn't win. He came second.
Yeah, but then he owes us lunch.
My guy down the field. Your guy didn't make the cut. We'll see you in the restaurant. That was the deal. That was the deal. Right, let's move on, James.
Just hold on. I got to debate this. I thought that the winners always paid for lunch.
No, we had the rules set straight. Don't try and change them now. Let's go back to our show. Let's talk about Lafitte Pinkai, one of the greatest jockeys out. He's handing out awards this year.
Now, every year, 15th year that he handed out the Lafitte Pinkai Award, and he must be the only jockey that I know that's ever given anything back to racing. Certainly in the form of an award, and he's giving Martine Belloc the Lafitte Pinkai Award this year, and she was one of the people that saved all the horses. Are you okay?
From the fire.
Yeah, from the fire. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Right.
From the fire in the award is for integrity, extreme dedication, determination. You know, it's for someone who's done really well. And this poor girl had severe burns and lost her foot, but she saved a whole lot of horses.
Fantastic. Okay? She deserves more than just Pinkai.
So she gets an award from Lafitte Pinkai. Hats off to him. I wonder what the rest of the industry did for her and all the other people that fought to save the lives of horses in racing. But there's another question, you know.
Yeah.
What do you say to these people? An award is an award.
You were looking at sires list, second season sires.
Yeah, this will please you because I know that you had the foresight to buy a few Camelots.
Yes.
Camelot is leading the second season sires list, okay, by average of his top 10 runners, time form rating. Now, they use this as a benchmark, and they've used it since 2000 as a benchmark for stallions with the ability to produce top horses. Because what they're saying, the top 10 horses, their time form rating, take the average of that, and that will give you an idea of how good a horses throw. Well, leading the pack is Frankel, interestingly enough, since 2000.
Through all years,
since 2000, of second sires. Second crop sires, okay?
Yes,
so all these horses in their second crop, they took their second crops. He had 118. Camelot had 111. Galileo, 117.8, and Dubawi, 117. So it's a very good benchmark, this, as it shows you whether a horse is going to produce some class horses. And what's interesting is they talk about second crop. They don't talk about the first crop, but they talk about the second crop. So they're three-year-olds, okay? So they know that the horse is going to produce horses that go on, you know.
Well, the 2 Group 1 winners, Camelot, so he's really flying. I'm pleased about that. James, the King George Craftsman?
Apparently he's not going to run. Cracksman is not going to run. Okay, they're very disappointed that he, you know, very disappointed that he wasn't.
I don't blame them. I don't blame
able to run. But I think that they were really had the stuffing knocked out of them with the big races. The last time he got beaten by Poet's Word. Lady Aurelia retired.
Yeah.
Only American-based horse to win the Cartier Award.
Yeah.
As a 2-year-old, she won the 2-year-old filly because she won the Queen Mary at Ascot in the Prix Mornay, and she won the 2017 King's Stand, but she's been retired. And Magical, just to finish off with European. Magical won a Group 2 in Ireland, and Magical is the full sister to Rhododendron and Flying the Flag, who stands here.
Oh,
another big plug for Flying the Flag.
Fantastic.
He might just end up being the horse we're looking for. Certainly in KwaZulu-Natal, he stands at Bush Hill.
James, before we get to speak to Mike McCabe about the big day, let's talk about some races.
Give me my...
I will quick look at them and I'm passing on to you. Let's start with the Tequini Stakes. What I do like, James, is Beat It and Can You Feel It? Or by which stallion?
Both by Jackson.
Correct.
Yeah.
Great. 2 great songs.
Yeah.
Can you feel it, James?
Yeah, and Beat It, okay? Well, I'm going to have a look here because I can tip you the winner in this race.
What, you tip us the winner in that race.
A Return Flight, the Pomodoro.
Okay.
So, big fight between Pomodoro and Jackson.
Yes.
Okay?
There's a couple
both
others,
first season sires. That might be the right one. What has Fat Man got in here? Oh, he's got Dagmar. That's got to have a chance. And Storm Destiny.
But it's a group
Storm
one,
Destiny,
James.
Striker Stratum drawn 14.
That'll be
that
fun.
won't be hugging the rail.
No.
No, there's no
James,
doubt about that.
Then the Premier's Champion Stakes.
I think that might be the first ride that Strikers had for Mike de Kock for a very, very long time.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's look at the Premiers then for the boys, James, and your mate Mike de Kock, or our mate Mike de Kock, comes into town with the Socrat and Alisha Brat. I can't even pronounce this thing, but again, it's going to go against Pomodoros in Cirillo. That's
Who's riding Socrat?
Socrat has been ridden by Randall Simons again.
Yeah.
And then Bernard Fader rides Ali Arsat. Those 2. Bold Eagle comes into town from Chesney. You know, that's a Bold Silvano.
Yeah.
I've always liked
Terry got in there? Cirillo.
Sean, let's find Sean. Here we go. He's got Cirillo, yeah. And anything else? No, that's what he's got. Have a look. So what do you think, James?
Well, that will be interesting. That's the other Pomodoro, Cirillo.
Yeah, that's right.
I would think, my favourite horse. I love this horse.
Who's it?
Confessional.
Beautiful.
That will be a great each way bet in this race.
That's right. He didn't fire on July Day. But
he didn't run a bad race.
He's a beautiful horse.
Didn't run a bad race at all. Okay.
Okay, Jim. We go to the Mercury Sprint, where there are Group 1 winners. I did have a look at the betting, and Pinnacle Peak, Arthur Marcus is riding for Dory Sham, a very quick horse who I think is drawn badly. It's drawn out very deep.
That's got to have a chance, and we hope for Jonas.
It's run second to Attenborough, I think, in the big one, the Group 1 in Joburg.
Run second in two big ones.
Yes, it has. Run second in 2 big ones.
Didn't it run second?
Our horse has got a better draw now, Sniper Shot.
Yeah.
He'll run well. And then, of course, Black Cat Back and Sunset Eyes. What do you think? Anything else that grabs your attention?
Well, you know, you've obviously got to look at Attenborough, the top weight. Jay Ramsden. Oh, he's a good horse. Trip to Heaven, quite interesting. Lyle's riding that for Sean Terry.
Well, he won't be now because he's going to have surgery, Lyle.
Is he?
Yes, he's fallen off. He's going to have surgery.
Okay, well, it's a lovely race. London Call goes at 1,200, but I think he's better at Scottsville.
He seems to, but he's a very good horse.
Gee, he
just got beat the other day.
Yeah, he just got beat the other day. Dutch Phillip, the top-rated horse from Cape Town.
Got to find himself.
Yeah. It's a very, very good race.
Okay,
indeed.
And then James, this is an interesting race because I'm going to throw it at you. I think Brett Crawford has come into a very strong hand with the World Sports Betting Champion Cup, another Grade 1 race. He's got undercover agent who's going 1,800. He's a big, beautiful horse, but there is that question mark because he was beaten in the drill by Perovsky, who takes him on again. But he's got Captain America, Sail South, and going through it, Matador Man, I think will run well. Anything else? Surcharge is a top horse.
Surcharge, wonderful to see him coming. Eyes Wide Open, that needed its last start. Tapper North, this is the turnaround for him.
He's a good horse.
It's a great, great race. Okay, and the Gold Cup is the big one.
The Gold
and
Cup.
I know what will win the Gold Cup. I tipped it last year. I'll tip it to you again this year.
Hermosa Mundo.
Hermosa Mundo.
Yeah, big runner. I think Made to Conquer, It's My Turn, Stratton, Dark Moon Rising. I'm confident to get the trip. But you're right, Hermosa Mundo, the talk's good.
Yeah,
I was speaking to Sean Singleton about it.
Yeah.
Says he's getting his speech ready.
Okay, well, that's excellent. Sean Singleton can use the same speech as last time. Great weeks racing coming up, and I don't think we want to do this.
No, we got it, because there's stories about, we spoke about this last week. This is how we got on to James getting to buy myself and Graham Hawkins lunch. But let's have a look at the green jacket again. We should have a slide coming up. This is the get-together of all racing folk. I know the likes of the champion trainers, Sean Terry, Mark de Kock, come on down. I think they've got about 80 or 90 people there, James.
I can't afford to go there. I'm not going, okay?
Don't you
I've got to pay for lunch for you guys, that's it.
We'll let you off lunch so you can come with.
No chance. Where is this advert? Where is it?
The advert will come up now.
Where is it?
Before we finish this. There we go. And 29th to 1st of August, individual Stableford. You'll know more about this type of stuff. GoldCircleRacing Masters. And it's always a great laugh, James. And invariably you do your money. But I believe the story is, if you do play, you're like Cracksman at the moment. If you do play, you're going to have new clubs, yes or no?
No.
What happened? Didn't you get new clubs?
No. Couldn't afford them.
Okay.
I'm Jimmy unemployed, okay? This is only gainful employment I have. I'm unemployed, unemployable, okay, because I'm past pensioner stage. So I get my pension, and that's it.
You're still
and
a good-looking boy, James.
I went to see the new club business, like Mike de Kock, he got the 90 gorillas on the new clubs. I went and had a look. The guy said to me, he says, 18 gorillas. I said to him, I couldn't afford one gorilla.
What about one club in some?
I said, just put in a thing to make them a little longer, because I've been hitting them all over the place. He said, that will help, but it's not going to fix the problem. He said, a player of your quality needs proper work, proper clubs. A workman got to be able to blame his tools. So
all right, James.
I don't want to wrap this up. I'm not finished yet. Okay, let's call it a day, and we'll be chatting to Mike McCobb. Laf will give you all the lowdown with Mike McCobb.
Hi and welcome to Your Call. As we said earlier, we are going to be talking to Mike McCobb from Pro Sport International. But we've got Brett Arthur coming in to talk to us first. And he's head of commercial. And Brett, thanks very much for coming in. You're very involved in the sponsorship side of this game. And it's wonderful that you guys have managed to pull off this coup of getting Terry Spargo, the voice of Dubai,
absolutely,
horse commentator, to come out and call a few races here. Fantastic move.
Yeah, no hundreds, Paul. Look, last year we were hoping to do it.
What does hundreds mean? Sorry.
100%, Paul.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. So I just thought if we're going to go to colloquialisms, it'll be much easier.
Okay, no.
But it's a family show.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get back to Terry.
Look, we tried to get Terry last year, but obviously time wasn't on our side. So we did the homework early this year, and he was very, very happy to be a part of it all. And I think that's just the vision going forward. We want to bring a bit of international flavour to the last Saturday of July.
Yeah, and the big day is obviously your title sponsor is Elan, and they've come on board again. Some guys from last year have come on board.
Correct, yeah. If we look at obviously, and like I say, we all need sponsors. And to me, to get these guys are all buying into the vision and excitedly, and trust me, it wasn't a hard sell getting them involved in year 2. So Elon again will headline the Gold Cup. World Sports Betting will do the Champions Cup, which is nice to have Warren and Rainer and the boys still involved with that.
Yeah.
From last year, we've got Pippa with Aventure being involved again. She's a great supporter of horse racing. Sun Life Vitamins are getting involved from last year. They've come back, so I think that's exciting as well to get new guys in the game.
I think, Brett, one of your coups with you and Gold Circle has to be bringing the Mercury, the Group 1 Sprint, onto this day.
Absolutely, Paul. And I think just from a racing point of view, and maybe we're going to be a bit biased here, but I honestly think this is probably the best day of thoroughbred racing this country has. I mean, you just need to look at, you've got the speed.
4 Group 1s.
You've got the speed, Mercury.
Stamina.
You've got the stamina,
You got
Gold
the-
Cup. You've
yeah.
got middle distance, the World Sports Betting. You throw 2 juvenile Group 1s in between then.
Yeah.
And also some exciting stuff with the
Some
gold
Group
bracelet,
3s,
which we
and
can
it
touch
is
on.
fantastic, yeah. And it's wonderful, but people know that when you have to get sponsorship, it's not an easy call.
No, it's not.
It's not. You have to bang on doors and you have to say, come to our festival and let's make it work.
Absolutely, and I think the most important thing is, I think with anything you're trying to sell, Paul, is people buy into your passion.
Yeah.
And I think with Mike and myself, first and foremost, passion is why we're sitting here.
Yeah.
Passion is why we're taking this gamble.
Yeah.
And we have no doubt that the calendar has another big event. And
Yeah.
Durban, I want to see gravel packed at least twice every Saturday, twice a year in
Twice
July.
a year, yeah, I agree with you. The Gold Cup used to be so massive, and now that you've got all these supporting races, a big plus. But you've also got some other people come on board. Now, I know you were mentioning that Dean Heyman, who's in the car game, has helped assist with, who are they, Haval, is that how you pronounce it?
Haval, they're a Chinese company. In fact, Dean has Haval Pinetown. They'll be a part of the day. They're getting involved with one of our group races. They're going to have some cars parked out on the day. And it's nice because they've just entered the South African market. And I'm saying, guys, if you want to spend money on sport, let's align with horse racing. Let's align with the sport of kings. So I want to thank Dean as well for helping from his side. And so it's
another team that do a lot of sponsoring are Cuda. Now, Cuda have come on board again. They're very good.
Absolutely. They're taking the gold bracelet, and it's going to be nice having them on board. And like them, it was just a case of, guys, this is the vision, get involved, this is the racing stock we got for the day.
Yeah.
And before you knew it, we had the commitment. And
what I think added to that is another feather in your cap is that you've managed to get Klavervlei to say that they will give services to the fillies who win those 2 big fillies races.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you look at I think it's eThekwini fillies, so whoever wins that race, whoever wins the gold bracelet, they have access to a free cover with one of their top stallions.
At Klavervlei.
Klavervlei, we don't need to mention.
Twice over.
Twice over.
Yeah.
Twice over, do it again. Twice over.
Yeah,
I think
it's
top
superb
racehorse
stallion.
and going to be a great stallion. Eh?
Yeah, it's really going that way because his oldest horses are only 3 and they've flown 1 Group 1 races. So all in all, you're happy where we are at the moment.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited, we're happy, and I'm just saying to obviously all the punters, and Mark will touch on that a little bit later, guys, come here on Saturday.
Yeah, get down here.
You come down here, come here early. It's going to be a top day of racing.
Okay, Brett, thanks very, very much. We're just going to have a look at a slide now that talks about the day. And let's have a look. It's about 1.5 minutes, I believe. It's an intro. Let's have a look at this, please. Well, it's my great pleasure to get Mike McCarbin, as we promised you, known as the nicest guy in football and the nicest guy in racing. Mike, a lot of people don't know, he took Orlando Pirates to win the league. Michael, you made your name in football. You're starting to make a big name in racing there.
I know, I just feel blessed that I'm given this opportunity, Paul. It's something I'm incredibly passionate about. My late dad, somewhere up there looking down on me, is probably saying, gee whiz, I wish I was in your position, because he brought me out when I was 5 years old to watch my first race, first July in actual fact. And to be able to sit here today and talk to you about horse racing in itself is a massive privilege. It's something that I'm super, super passionate about.
Yeah, you always have been. You've had a couple of top horses too. After speaking to Brett, he set the scene for us to talk about things that are happening. Let's talk about what you got planned for Terry Spargo.
Before we kick off with that, I'd also like to mention that we're very excited. South Africa's biggest commercial radio station, and without a doubt the biggest regional radio station, GoldCircleRacing FM, they're now our radio partner and media partner. And they're doing a wonderful thing for racing, because what we're doing is, outside of the fact that one of their listeners will be one of the virtual owners in the Elan Gold Cup, where they can win a R1 million piece of land, and we saw how exciting that was last year. They're also having...
Trevor Harding won it.
Trevor Harding won it.
Trevor Harding
and MJ of Iadini finished second.
Can you believe it?
And they were standing next to each other. I thought they were going to kill each other. They were both riding those horses as if
I grew up with Trevor Harding.
Yeah, amazing.
His dad was a race goer. His brother was a race goer, and
correct.
And it's fantastic that he won it. So I'm pleased for him too.
So again, this year we're doing the same thing, and Gagazi are having an outside broadcast at the course.
Fantastic.
So we'll have an OB on the course for the first time. They're running a competition, which it's really exciting, and today we will be drawing the two couples that will go to Summerveld on Wednesday to have a behind the scenes insight as to how these horses are prepared for the day.
Fantastic.
So we're going to have a champagne breakfast. We are going to have some really exciting things that we're putting on. So thank you to Gagazi and all our sponsors for supporting racing.
I'll touch on Terry, because I can't wait to talk about the prawns.
No, but I can see you licking your lips.
I really am, sure. When I watched this, I thought, wow, this looks great. Now, Terry is international, even the voice of Dubai for decades, and a truly great race caller. It's wonderful to have him here. But you've got him planned to do a couple of other things, haven't you?
Yes. So we're going to host him on Thursday. On Friday, he doesn't play golf. He says he's a hacker. So we'd rather take him around and show him some really nice sights in Durban. And then Friday evening, we have the cocktail dinner hosted by yours truly, none other than Paul Laff. And Terry with yourself and I think Graham Hawkins, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to have a panel and discuss horse racing in general and the big races on the day. And I don't have to tell you, he's got such a wealth of experience and such a wonderful, warm, bright character that we're really looking forward to some exciting times with him. And then on Saturday, he's calling some of the big races.
It's fantastic, because people will immediately recognize his voice.
Absolutely.
You know, when you've been doing that job for years and years, and, you know, chrome turns to gold. This comes to mind.
Exactly.
One of his chirps, chrome turns to gold. But let's get on to Prawn Festival. This is a great idea. How do you come up with this?
Well, kudos to Graham Hawkins and Gold Circle. They were the ones that came up with the idea, and I just think it's a wonderful idea. It's in the Silver Ring Room, and we all know it's a beautiful room to host any function.
Fantastic.
Some of the top chef schools are going to be present, displaying their culinary skills and putting on some fantastic dishes. And honestly, Paul, you know, I'm not a salesman. And I truly am not a salesman. Brett Arthur is.
Yes.
And by the way, well done to Brett for
what he's done.
For what he's done and getting Terry Spargo here.
Yeah, no, that's a big feather.
So the price of 400 Rand a ticket is an absolute
that is a steal. You should just pay for that venue. It'd be 400 to watch racing.
It's amazing.
That'll be full.
However, it's in line with what we want to do for horse racing. If you look at our entry fee for the Gold Cup, it's 80 Rand.
Nothing.
Immediately you walk through the gates, you can redeem 30 Rand of that for a betting voucher. So you effectively have a head start.
Head start. You've got a bet on. Yeah.
And we've got an amazing day of racing. Within the precinct, we've got a food market. but a top food
food market.
We have chill zones, and again, I'm going to say this: we have to look after owners and trainers and administrators and people who love racing, members, etc. But don't let us forget that the lifeblood of horse racing are our punters. And we've put on a day where the punters are going to have free access to all of this. The chill zones, the food markets, the music. It's all on racecourse side with our charities.
Michael, if I can just come in here. You had a 2-day festival last year.
Yes.
Have you learned from that? You brought it back down to 1.
I think we've learned that it may be a little bit premature. And, you know, I spoke to a number of stalwarts in the industry who warned me about it, but I don't have to tell you, I'm that sort of person. If I don't...
You want to pioneer.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, I'll admit it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit premature having 2 days of racing for the South African racing fraternity. I think we can get away with it in England. You can get away with it in Dubai, I would guess. But in South Africa, I think we have a different culture, a different mentality. So rather than having 2 races or 2 race meetings with diluted quality, we decided 1 race meeting, 12 races, 8 group races, 2 listed, a juvenile plate and an MR80, and have some of the best racehorses at various distances.
Fantastic, and bringing the Mercury Sprint.
And bring the Mercury Sprint on board.
It's a wonderful spread, as Brett said, from stamina to speed. We've got everything here. And Michael, let's talk about the big race, if you don't mind, because I've got a horse in the race. And are we going to have a little wager?
Of course we are.
Of course we are. For a cold drink or
and by the way, I have to tell you this, and you know this as well as I do.
Yes.
Outside of my horse Ballymane, who was a 20,000 Rand purchase.
Yes.
Brett is involved with me. My cousin Clive Callell is involved. Private jet owner Craig Clay Smith, who owns a company called Flagship, and Ivan Moore himself.
Yes.
So we decided we're going to buy this little main name to Sprint. Outside of him, and I mean this absolutely from the depths of my heart, your horse is my favorite horse.
Thank you. Thank you. We were hoping, you know, that he puts up a big one. We've always believed he'll stay. But it's always a tough race, but it's a great race. When they jump down the field and they come past the grandstand for the first time, everyone's cheering.
Yeah.
And Michael, it looks good with all these sponsors that Brett's been able to get, all these ideas you guys are putting together. I think it's going to be a great day.
We hope so. You know, we've also got some beautiful picnic sites, which, by the way, are sold out.
Fantastic.
And the picnic sites this year are different in that, when I say different to other picnic sites, you come along, you bring yourself. You get your betting voucher, your food in picnic baskets, your drinks. You have half of your picnic site, which is a 60 square meter picnic site for 20 people. And we have, I think, 10 or 12 of those with a tote in the middle of them. So the picnic sites have their own tote, something innovative. Half of it is covered with a Bedouin tent, pallet furniture. It's going to be something, I believe, really spectacular. And I'm super excited. And honestly, it's something that gets me going. I'm really passionate about this.
Are you ready for a day?
Yeah.
And we all set to go, no hiccups?
Not at all. Well, you know, you can never say never.
Yeah.
But I must say, I must tip my hat to everybody involved, our partners at Elan and all our sponsors, plus the Pro Sport International guys, our events team, our commercial team. They've worked tirelessly. And this week, obviously, we just step it up to make sure that everything is spot on. And it would be really unfair of me if I didn't take a moment to congratulate Gold Circle, Graham Hawkins and his team, and you guys for doing absolutely everything to ensure that we're given a fair chance of making this a super successful day.
So we're
Super
all
Saturday, I think it's called, eh?
Yep, so we're all set to go.
No, we are.
Mark, as always, a pleasure. You know, our door's always open. You've got these innovations that we really enjoy, and I must try and make a plan to get up and taste a prawn or two. But
No, you have to.
I have to.
And by the way, before we leave, on the footballing note,
Yeah.
the winner of the EPL this year, can I have your prediction?
Sundowns. Oh, the EPL, sorry. No, Spurs.
Okay, I'll leave it at
And
that.
you're going to go with?
Chelsea.
Okay.
Only because I'm a Chelsea supporter.
James Goodman asked me to ask you a question.
Yes.
What do you think of Giroud? You want to take the Fifth Amendment?
No, I can tell you that I honestly believe that he's the sort of player that gives you a different outlet. He did it for France. You know, everybody spoke about Kylian Mbappe and Antoine Griezmann. They forget all of the hard work done by Giroud, and if you need a direct outlet, he's there for you. So he offers you a little bit of a different approach, as I would guess Harry Kane would do for Spurs.
Yeah.
Romelu Lukaku does for United.
Yeah.
You can't have all these fancy players with great pace.
Michael, thanks very much.
Thank you,
Let's
Paul.
have a great day together.
Thank
there
you.
we go, Mike McCobb, the man who's pioneered a lot of things, and really, if you can get down there on Super Saturday. It's the Elan Gold Cup and all those big races as well.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.